Hi, fourth graders. Welcome to math. It is Unit 7, Lesson 4. We are going to be doing equivalent fractions using multiplication. And so we're going to look at some models that show us what equivalent fractions are looking like, and then a method to use, a rule that'll help us to figure out how to do it every time. And then we're going to practice using that rule and that method. The things you're going to need today, you will need a pencil. You will need some scratch paper. You'll need your workbook. We're going to work in pages 343 to 346. Most of the lesson, first two pages, we'll be doing those together and just kind of discussing those. So let's go ahead and open up and get started with 343, equivalent fractions. Okay. Read and discuss the problem situation. Lewis worked summers at Maria's fruit farm. One day, Maria agreed to give Lewis extra pay if he could sell 2/3 of her supply of peaches. They started with 12 bags of peaches, and Lewis sold 8 of them. Lewis said to Maria, 8 bags is 8/12 of the 12 bags you wanted to sell. I think 2/3 is the same as 8/12. I can show you why. And Lewis made a drawing. Did Lewis earn his pay? Explain your answer. So down below, explain here, do you think that 2/3 is the same as 8/12? Do these show the same thing? Well, go ahead and pause it quick and explain your answer. Yes, it does show the same thing. These 2 pieces are the same amount of shading as these 8 pieces. So 2/3 does show 8/12 because these are the same whole, and 2/3 covers up as much as 8/12. Okay, so we would say that those are equivalent fractions. That's the big vocabulary piece today, equivalent fractions. Another way we could show that, 2/3, if these are my peaches and I say we'll sell 2/3 of them, you'd say, all right, 2/3, there, that's 2/3 of 3, and you'd be right. But then what if I said, well, let's have 6 peaches now? Well, I have to sell 2 out of the next 3 as well. Well, now 2/3 became 4 out of 6, or 4/6. 2/3 is the same as 4/6. Ooh, I got another group of 3. Well, if I sell 2 of those 3, now I'm looking at 6/9. And then if I have 12 peaches, I've sold 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. If I keep selling 2/3 of every group of 3, that's the same as 8/12. So this is another way to look at 2/3 equals 8/12. Why is that? Maria said, moving on to number 2, you are just fracturing each third into 4/12. You can show what you did using numbers. Here's what Maria wrote. 2/3 equals 2/3 times 4/4 equals 8/12. Let's look at that. Discuss what Maria did. How does multiplying the numerator and the denominator by 4 affect the fraction? If you're watching this with somebody, pause it right now and talk about that. How did that work? Did that make any sense at all? If you're not and you're watching by yourself, just go ahead and pause it and try and come up with a reason for that. Okay, let's go ahead and look. It says multiplying both by 4 makes an equivalent fraction with a smaller unit fraction. Okay, let's look at a picture of that. If I take my 2/3, in this rectangle, I have 2 out of my 3 pieces shaded in yellow. If I were to make each of these into smaller unit fractions, I can figure out the equivalent amount because I'm not shading any more or shading any less, right? I still have the same amount shaded in. So watch what I do. If I take my 3 big pieces and I cut them in half, well, now my thirds became 6 equal pieces. But I don't have 2 pieces anymore. I have 4 shaded in pieces. So 2/3 became 4/6. I can make those pieces even smaller and equivalent still too. If I take half of that side and half of this side, this is what Maria was talking about. I started with 2/3 and I split each of those thirds into 4 equal pieces. Well, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of my 9, 10, 11, 12 shaded in. Well, yeah, 2/3 is the same as 8/12. And look here, 4/4. All I did was multiply the top by 4 and the bottom by 4. 4/4. Another way of thinking of that is that's one whole, or just 1. Anytime you multiply anything times 1, it stays the same. This changed the size of the pieces, but it didn't change the value at all. 2/3 is the same as 8/12 because I multiplied the top and the bottom both by 4. As long as you do the same to the top and bottom, you're going to have equivalent fractions. That's the big key to today. Well, let's look about what these fractions, the fraction bars, show here. How do these all show equivalence? As we look at these, we have 6 fraction bars that are the same whole, right? They all are the same height. They're all the same length. They show the same amounts shaded. But look what happens to 1/3. 1/3 becomes, you cut it in half, well, you have to cut each of the thirds in half. And now you have 6 total pieces, but you have 2 out of 6 shaded in. Well, 1/3 becomes 3 pieces out of 9 shaded in, or 4 out of 12, 5 out of 15, 6 out of 18. These all show the same amounts, but as the pieces get smaller, you need more of them to cover the entire equal amount. So here we have a big string of equivalents. We have 1/3 that goes to 2/6, to 3/9, to 4/12, to 5/15, to 6/18, to 7/21, 8/24, 9/27. Oh my, all the way to 10/30. What pattern do you notice? What's happening? Some of you might have seen it. All we're doing is skip counting, right? We're going back to the basics of multiplication. We skip count on the top by 1. Everyone grows by 1. And then on the bottom, the pattern you notice, we started with 3 in their denominator, thirds, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. That continues the entire time. All I'm doing is skip counting by the top and the bottom, right? Here I times the top and the bottom by 2. Here I times the top and the bottom by 3. Here, 1 times 4 is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Right? And I multiplied by 5 and 6 and 7. Right? Multiplication patterns are very important today. All right, let's look at number 4, and let's try and apply this rule now. It says you can show how to find fractions equivalent to 1/3 numerically. Fill in the blanks and finish the equations, and then explain how these fraction equations show equivalent fractions. Well, they did the first one for us, right? So 1/3 is what we are starting with every time. Multiply the top and the bottom by 2, right? So it's the same as 2/6. Well, if now we are multiplying the top and bottom, here we go. We got to multiply by 3. So you'll write in 3, So you'll write in, try this again, 3 and 3, and fill in what is 1 times 3. That is 3. So my answer is 3/9, right? They already did the bottom for me. Now, if we want 4 equal parts, we multiply by 4. Multiply by 4 out of 4. 4 over 4, that's the same as 1 whole. 1 times 4 is simply 4. Now, let's do 5 equal parts, and then I'll let you choose what you want to do for the last one or what you think it should be. Multiply by 5 here. And now I'm going to multiply the top by 5, and I'm going to multiply the bottom by 5. Right? 1 times 5 is 5. And they did 3 times 5 for me to make it 15. And so today, we know that 1/3 is the same as 5/15. Pause it now. See if you can figure this one out. What's going to go in these empty boxes? We know we want to get to 18. Pause it if you need to. I'm guessing most of you probably didn't even need to do that. You quick wrote it in. You're seeing the pattern here, right? We're going to move up to 6. We're going to break it into 6 equal parts. But the reason we know that's true is because down below, 3 times 6 got me to 18. Well, if I times the bottom by 6, I have to do it to the top to keep it equivalent. That's our rule. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top, or whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. So our equivalent fraction is 6/18. All right, and why is that, right? The top and the bottom were both multiplied by the same number because it's always 1 whole. Here, 1 whole is 2 halves, 3/3, 4/4, and so on. That's the same as 1 whole. All right, now we want to be able to try and tell how are these fractions equivalent or not? Okay, so I'm looking at 1/6 and 2/12. Well, could I multiply the top and the bottom by the same number to get to 2/12? Well, let's try it with 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 6 times 2 is 12. So times the top by 2 and the bottom by 2, and you get 2 12ths. So yes, these are equivalent. So I would write yes, or just a y. Now, what about 3 6 and 5 ninths? Well, I know 3 6 should equal, if I multiply the top times 2, I'm going to get 6. If I multiply the bottom by 2, that's going to be 12. 3 6 does not equal 6 12ths. Or 3 6 equals 6 12ths, but 3 6 does not equal 5 ninths. Another way I know that is because I can see 3 6 is 1/2. Well, 5 is not half of 9, so that's got to be no. All right, and then C, 6 12ths and 8 15ths. Once again, 6 12ths is 1/2, and 8 15ths, 8 16ths would be 1/2, because 8 is half of 16. So this is another one. Those are not equal, right? That goes back to our idea of benchmark fractions, right? Recognizing 1/2. Okay, let's go on to the next page, right? Here, we're going to apply some of our rules, and you're going to be given a multiplication chart to use as well. It says the table on the right shows part of the multiplication table at the left. You can find fraction equivalent to 1/3 by using the products in the rows for the factors of 1/3. So really all that's saying is 1/3 is the same as 6/18, and all these are the same as 1/3, right? 2 6, 3 ninths, 4 12ths, and so on, just like we were doing in the fraction chain below on the in one of the last slides. And so what I want you to really think about now is where you're going to start to work. These are all similar problems to how we've done. We'll do the first one together though, but try and figure out what are we multiplying the top and the bottom by? It's always the same number to get to the equivalent fraction, right? Use the chart above if you need to. We'll do the first one together. Wow, I'm starting with 1. 1 times what gets me to 4? Well, I know 1 times 4 is 4. Okay. How about 3 to 12? Well, 3 times 4 also gets me to 12. So that's all I needed to do for number 6. And that makes sense because I multiplied the top and the bottom by the same number. Try and figure out 7 through 11. And then with number 12, A, B, and C, you're going to tell if they're equivalent or not. Well, same thing, 3/4 and 12 16ths. What did I multiply to get there? 3 times what? Well, 3 times 4 got me to 12. And so if I multiply the bottom by 4 as well, is that also true? 4 times 4 is 16. So yes, those are equivalent. Okay, see if you can figure out B and C. Pause it now and try and solve them. All right, so check your work, see how you did. I want to skip to B and C because I think those were ones that could have been a little trickier. No, they are not equivalent for B because 1 times 5 is 5 and 2 times 5 is 10, so it would be 5 tenths. But yes, these ones are. What did they multiply the top and the bottom by to get to from 9 tenths to 90 100ths? Yeah, they multiplied by 10. Good. This would be another way to show, to be able to show the answer for 3/4 and 12 16ths, right? They made their fourths 16 pieces. That's kind of like what I showed with the 2/3. So you can see it's the same amount of blue shaded in. Here we just cut the hole into 16 pieces on this side and only 4 on this side. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and continue working. Go ahead and you're going to read the puzzled penguin problem, or I'll read it for you. It says, "Dear students, I tried to find a fraction equivalent to 2/3. Here's what I wrote. 2/3 equals 5 6. Is my answer correct? If not, please help me understand why it is wrong. Thank you, the puzzled penguin." Write your response here, and then try and answer the following. Go ahead and pause now. All right, check your work. You're right. 6 is equal to 3 times 2, but 5 is not 2 times 2. So he didn't do the same to the top as he did to the bottom. And then here are going to be your answers to the rest. But notice this pattern. Every time, whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. If you're multiplying by the same value on the top and the bottom, it is going to be an equivalent fraction. Okay. Now, your next steps. You're going to complete not only homework 7.4, but also quick quiz 7.1. That's kind of a review of all the work we've done so far in Unit 7. It's only 5 problems. And then once you get done with that, take some time, go into IXL and work on some of the fraction work today. All right, if you have any questions, please let your teacher know. Have some fun today and work hard.